determined to be free. This is the station of all Greeks determined to be free. We are transmitting on 1050 megacycles. The students of the Polytechnic have voted to occupy the buildings. There are 5,000 of us. People of Athens, join us.
Our school is in the heart of Athens, and the heart of Athens beats for freedom!
Free Greece! Free Greece! Free Greece! Free Greece! Free!
People of Athens, people of Greece, our radio is strong enough to reach only Athens. Telephone your friends in other parts of Greece. If you can, telephone abroad. Put your telephones next to your radio. Let them hear our voices everywhere.
Jam it! Jam that goddamn radio!
We're doing everything we can. It's too slow!
Jam it! Sir? Yes, sir. Well, yes, sir, we're trying, sir. Well, it's a transmitter, sir. Yes. Well, that's where I'm calling from now, sir. That's where I am. Sir? Well, yes. Well, what the hell do you think I'm doing? Well, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. What the hell kind of technicians are you? Sir?
Announcement. At 3:30, we invite all journalists to a press conference.
Press conference? Sons of bitches! Sons of bitches!
New York, more than 4,000 miles away from Greece. How many know of the massacre of the Greek students in a university called the Polytechnic School of Athens? You, with your own problems, do you have the time to care, the heart to care? You, have they told you about women degraded and tortured in Greek prisons? You, do you know that Greek students and workers had their legs mutilated by explosive bullets shipped by the USA? Would you be shocked to know that your government is directly involved? You, and you, and you. How can we reach you? We need your concern. We need your attention.
May I put it up there?
Sure.
We're making a film about it. Greek students, friends, amateurs, professionals are all contributing their talent.
From the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4.
La bemolle, έτσι, είμαι καλά. 4 μέτρα, 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. Οπ, λάθος. 4, 4. 4. Το δέμα το λάβα, η βαρύτονη παιδιά, το δέμα το λάβα προχτές, το δέμα προχτές, η βαρύτονη, το δέμα το λάβα προχτές, το δέμα, 1, 2, 3, το δέμα το λάβα προχτές,
One thing the Greek dictators couldn't do was to stop the Greek people from singing. When things are bad, we sing. And when they are really bad, we sing gay songs.
Very, very good. Thank you very much.
That's a chorus rehearsal. Mickey's o-thrax is conducting. The words of that song say, I am okay, I hope to hear the same from you.
Απριό φεύγουν οι μισοί και εμείς πηγαίνουμε για αλλού. Χωρίς παιδιά μπορεί νησί, ας γίνει θέλημα Θεού.
Doctors? Mickey!
How old is he? Somewhere on the tape it says he's been practicing medicine for 40 years.
Barney, you play him your age.
Barney, a character touch if you want it. He always kept his glasses on his head.
I like it.
All right, the lighting will be rather dim. Before we rehearse it, let's have a look at a sketch of the set. Pablo? Can I have a little light on this, please? Now the doctor's office will be something like this. Just one light source, the effect of a darkened room.
Day or night?
Day. But the blinds will be drawn. That was kind of a secret meeting. Kill this light, please. Now we hold on Pablo, and then we pull back to hold the rest of the group. Ready? Action!
We won't make any introductions. You can call everyone here Doctor.
The day after tomorrow, the students will occupy the Polytechnic School. You're the only ones to be told.
How many students will follow you?
The minimum will be 3,000.
You're not being too optimistic.
No. The optimistic ones, they say 5,000.
Unbelievable.
It's so.
I mean, it's unbelievable that we're the only ones that know. If 3,000 Greeks can keep a secret, we're making history.
Yes, no. First, there will be a march to the school. The proposal to occupy the building comes after the march.
And you're sure it will be voted?
Sure.
And we pick up close on Barney.
It's all set. We've gathered large stocks of medical and first aid supplies. We'll pack them for you to take into the university.
Some of us better be in the building with them.
You know, if the police live up to their past record, well, we've seen maniacal things. Tell the committee we're ready.
Cut. Okay. Oh, Barney, while you're here, why don't we just have a look at that clinic scene? The lights are about set.
The organization of the Greek doctors was quite extraordinary. In March of 1973, when the students had demanded a few crumbs of academic freedom, police brutality was savage. Doctors and nurses saw terrible things. Wounded students were brutalized in hospital beds. A few doctors got together. They knew, as all Greece knew, that the student movements would grow, that the clash with the dictator regime was inevitable, that the police would be ruthless, and that medical care had to be provided for the students outside the hospitals. They began to talk to other doctors. In a matter of months, out of 100 doctors approached, 70 agreed to form an organization. Despite the constant danger of discovery, they went to talk to people just outside Athens. And a number of people agreed to let their homes be used as hospitals. On the given day, these homes were ready, fully equipped, even for surgery.
Είμαι γιατρός 40 χρόνια. Τα μάτια μου έχουν δει πολλά. Αλλά αυτή τη φρίκη, να βλέπω αυτά τα κτίνη να ορμάνε μέσα στο χειρουργείο, δεν πρόκειται να την ξεχάσω ποτέ.
What's your name? What's your name?
You know my name. By what right? By what right did you destroy those death certificates? Are you going to make the bodies disappear too?
The police will take care of the death certificates.
And the law?
You're breaking the law. You had strict orders to report all new patients to the police.
They were dying. We are doctors.
You will report all new patients to the police.
There's a boy in there now, bleeding to death. We need plasma. In the name of decency.
Did you report him?
What's your name?
This one. This one. And this one. Put them all on the set. Anna? Dmitri? Maria, please. We'll start with her working on the photographs. Action.
Come in. He's a student. He's hurt. Can he stay here for a while?
Why don't you go to a hospital?
The police are watching every hospital in Athens.
Why do you come to my door? There are
We're
many.
going just anywhere in the building, but then we saw your name on the door.
Do you know me?
I have seen your photographs, some of the magazine things.
Come in. Are there many hurt?
Many, and many dead. I'll be back in a few minutes with the doctor.
Hello. Are they students or policemen? Let them die in the streets. The ambulances are for policemen only. And now.
Excuse me, but ambulances are needed badly. I'd like to telephone the Red Cross.
Out! Wait a minute! Out! God damn it. They'll spoil everything. Everything.
There were people in Greece who liked things just as they were. A few. There are not many rich people in Greece. Dictatorship was the most agreeable arrangement for them. No strikes, no trade unions, delicious tax benefits, a controlled press. Lovely.
Sabina, take a letter. Dear George, you're wrong. Don't be so nervous about the elections. It's a very smart move.
Papadopoulos announced that there would be elections. Mind you, not as far as he was concerned. He was going to stay for 8 years, no matter what. All the conditions for the elections were so impossible, so phony, that the Greek people didn't know whether to be insulted or to laugh.
The Constitutional Court is now set up. Each man was hand-picked. It is they who say yes or no to any candidate or any party. And if you're worried about any mistakes, just remember they can liquidate any party before, during, and after elections. Underline the word after. We know what we're doing. Nothing is going to change. Now, my advice to you and the London group is to come out publicly for the elections. Write a letter to the London Times, cradle of democracy, etc., etc.
After 6.5 years, Colonel Papadopoulos, who had appointed himself Prime Minister, Regent, Defense Minister, President, you name it, realized that he had to present a nicer face to the world. After all, fascism is a dirty word. It has a dirty smell.
The problem is not the elections. The problem is to get the idiot politicians to participate. And for the moment, they're playing hard to get. But we'll break them down. The students are going to be a headache. They're tough. Underline the word students, tough. The weather is great. Why don't you bring the family down for a long weekend?
Other areas sensitive to special treatment are the brachial muscle on the upper arm, the gluteus maximus on the hip, and the quadratus plantae on the arch of the foot. The technique is to cause pain without creating lasting effects or lasting traces. Now, I've been around, and I judge that some of you will get a kick out of this kind of work. If the object of the treatment is to get information, well, you may get a lot of pleasure beating a man to a pulp. But a man who's unconscious can't answer questions. You're a real professional when the man you are treating never loses awareness. That is why I recommend the quadratus plantae. You can use a cane, a broom handle, even a metal bar. But if you work skillfully, no bones are broken, and you leave no permanent or recognizable marks. Yet the pain is intense, and there's rather extraordinary swelling of the feet.
Do we take the shoe off?
It's more interesting to keep the shoe on. The pain in the first few strokes will not be extreme, but it reverberates like thunder in the head. Now, those of you assigned to women's work, the ugliest of you will be chosen. The use of obscenity is very effective. Threats of rape.
They may like that.
You may like it too. That's why it's not permitted. Raping a woman can make a man soft in more ways than one. That's my standard joke. It gets a standard laugh. I said threats, not rape. And not spoken threats. Let them see the bulge in your pants, which you'll have since you're beginners. Let them worry about it. And the less you talk about it, the more they'll worry. What really breaks them down is sexual humiliation. Rape them here. Degrade them. Make them feel dirty.
Six, 77611. Coming! This is Anna. Anna, the girl who brought Dmitri to your house. The police are here. They will make me talk. Get Dmitri out of the house. Get him out!
Is your passport in order?
Why?
Maybe you should go away for a while. If you need any money.
Stop here.
Here?
Yes. I'll walk the rest of the way.
Why?
It won't be easy with you. I'm sorry.
He was in your house, we know it.
No.
He was in your house.
No.
Come here. Is this the concierge of your building? I'm going to read your statement. I brought her the mail and the magazines. I saw the young man reflected in the hall mirror. She shut the door in my face, but not before I saw the young man. He was about 22, long hair and a beard. It was only a few seconds, but I saw him. Is that your statement?
I'm sorry.
All right.
He's lying.
You come!
Cut. We'll set up the next scene. All right. While we're setting it up, let Mickey rehearse. Mickey? Mickey?
I read from the report to the Council of Europe, European Commission of Human Rights. Denmark versus Greece, Norway versus Greece, Sweden versus Greece, Netherlands versus Greece. From the Commission's report, page 83. Testimony given by Mrs. Anastasia Tsirka, 24 years old. I say to them, tell to them, I'm going to have a baby. They answer, who cares about that? It will be another person like you. It is better not to have it. So I told to them again, when I was in the terrazza, laid down, I'm going to have a baby. Be careful, please. But they do not care at all about my stomach. They do not care at all. Malius ordered to Spanos to give me 15 falanga. Here she asked the president if he understood that falanga meant blows on the feet. He said he did. I started to scream very, very loud, and they put me in a very dirty rag in my mouth to keep my mouth shut. The witness broke into tears. She said, oh, I hate these people. The president suggested she rest a bit. She answered, "No, okay. I'm sorry. I do not come here to cry. It is all over now." And he say, "Come on, girl, speak, because they will kill you." I say, "What should I answer? I found the leaflets in the street." Then later on, a description of how they shoved her down the stairs. From the 4th floor all the way down to the basement and into an isolation cell. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I was dizzy and groggy and all that, and hurting all over. But I would like to sleep. So I get sleep. At 5 o'clock in the morning, it started to come blood. You know, all over my legs. And I feel it. But I never saw it, because there is no light. But I feel that I have blood somewhere here. So I start to scream. I say, "I lost my baby. I lost my baby."
The man most responsible for torture, as a policy, is named General Dimitris Ioannidis.
In 1949, I was a political prisoner in the concentration camp of Macronisios. I saw Dimitris Ioannidis personally direct the torturing of prisoners.
On November 25th, 1973, the same General Dimitris Ioannidis became the effective head of the Greek dictatorship.
We are now recording the statement of a man who considered it an honor to serve in the Greek army. He has chosen to use this film to make the statement.
My name is Captain George Fakianakis, medical officer in the Greek army. This is my wife, Eleni. I have the honor to submit my resignation from the Greek army for the following reasons. As a cadet and as an officer, I swore faith to country, respect to the Constitution and laws of the state, and obedience to my superiors. I believe that I serve my country best by resigning. The Greeks consider the army officers as oppressors of their freedom, as thieves of the public money, as undesirable and even hateful persons, generally worse than officers of a foreign army of occupation. The students' demands, shared by all Greeks, were freedom and democracy. The unarmed students have been slaughtered in cold blood. I am resigning because of principle and conscience. Make my self-exile and the distresses of my wife and children abroad with an unpredictable future, far from the beloved fatherland, be a small offer to the purpose of freedom of our country.
Student worker scene, please.
Ας πούμε, και αν είχαν την πρόθεση που κουβεντιάζαμε με τους εργάτες, αλλά πάντοτε υπήρχε, ας πούμε, αυτό το χάος.
Δεν συμμερίζομαι το ότι δεν υπήρχαν...
Look, all day long I make piss water in the Coca-Cola factory. I work hard, and I'm tired. If you're going to make an analysis of world history, and Freud, and Marx, and Confucius, and say big words I don't understand, I'd rather go home, take a bath, and fuck my wife.
You can't have action without theory.
Enough theory, let's have a little action.
Hey, look, I worked hard too. I'd like to go home. But without discussion, if I disagree politically...
Discussion? 6.5 years of discussion?
It's true, but not enough between student and worker. And we have to know each other, understand the basis of our relationship.
Oh, this we don't know. You don't want a junta? We don't want a junta? This is not basis enough?
Of course it is. But the consolidation of the relationship, its projection for the constructive programming strategy.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, I like to have a lot of books too and time to read them.
He's right. Look, that the worker supporters is clear. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
Can I propose a procedure? Now, one of the things we have to decide here is what slogans we're going to use. Now, Pablo has a list. Let us propose them one by one.
And if there are political differences, they will come out in discussion of each slogan. Okay?
Okay.
The first slogan, long live freedom. I don't suppose anyone will object to that. All in favor?
Just a minute, I object.
What?
Well, I don't know what it means. It's too vague, too general.
Come on, don't let it go. It doesn't hurt.
No. You can't be free with this regime. The slogan has got to be, down with the junta. Then we're talking about freedom.
Okay, down with the junta. All in favor? Not me.
You don't like down with the junta?
The point is how. The manner in which the junta falls is the key to the future. If there's another army coup, the junta falls. But it changes nothing for us. If the Americans decide to throw out this gang and put in another with a nicer face, the junta falls. But the Americans will still be boss. No. Things will change only if the people throw them out.
With pleasure. How?
Only one way. I propose as a slogan, build the people's army. Hey, nothing else makes sense. Armed struggle.
Great. Who's going to give us arms?
Take them. Now, if you look at China...
It's too far away. I want to see Greece.
If you look at China, you'll see Greece better.
I want to go home and fuck my wife.
Hello. This is us. Upside down. Instead of fighting the junta, we fight each other.
You're right. Excuse me, but you bring us the tanks and the jet airplanes. Maybe we talk different.
There are other arms. General Strike.
Bravo. Hey, General Strike. Very simple. You know what it means? Do you know what it takes?
Organization and militancy. And let the worker forget the automobile, the color TV.
Yeah, we know. The working class has sold its soul for a refrigerator. The Communist Party is establishment, and the trade unions are reactionary. We know. Well, it's not so bad having a refrigerator. Maybe you don't know what it's like living without one. I do.
Hey, listen, Che Guevara. If a student goes out on strike for a week, what happens? He misses some lessons. He catches up. If I don't work for a week, I spend the rest of the year running after the debts.
Then you better learn.
We don't need lessons from you. Now listen, young fella. Before you talk, take a look. Ask how many years we spent in prison. Then talk.
Students go to prison, too. Stop blackmailing us with your sacrifices and your past. Now it's today. The problem is today.
The problem is to live. Your problem is education. Ours is bread.
Of course it is. Ours too. My father's a worker like you are. He's not Onassis. We all have the same problems. Bread, education, and freedom.
We got the radio. Strong. It can reach all of Athens. This is the Polytechnic School of Athens. Our cause is just. Freedom to elect our own student council.
We demand that the military commissars get out of our classes.
Join us.
Εδώ δεν έχει σύνορα, δεν έχει καλοσύνη. Μπροστά περνάει ο άρχηγος και πίσω του η σκύλη.
Τραπέζι πεντακάθαρο, χαρτιά, λεφτά και τσόχα. Κρατάς τη μύτη σου μακριά να μη σε πάρει μπόγα.
Αχω μπουγλουγου, 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 μπα.
This is the free radio of the Polytechnic School of Athens. We have just received a message from the High School of Avalokipus. The 3 upper classes have left the school. Children 13, 14, and 15 years old at this moment are marching to join us.
In
Εκείνο που δεν μάθατε κι οι μαύροι εγελάγαν. Είναι γιατί ψοφίσανε τα ζώα που σας φάγαν.
There are hundreds of people outside and more coming.
We have prepared food, but our numbers are growing. We need more food.
Στο δέντρο αναπαυθήκανε τα δυο καημένα ζώα.
Did you ever see that guitar before? Come on, the one with medallion.
Για μόνα που στις σίγουρες του γέρου πως το πράγμα.
He plays a good guitar, let him stay.
There are 30,000 people out there!
Which government? Did you vote for them? Did anyone vote for them?
With emotion. It was not so long ago that I was a student myself.
Fellow student!
Students, all of my sympathy is with you. The government's sympathy is with you. You are our future.
Army out! This is out of the school! Out! Out! The army's out! 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 The army out! 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 The army out! 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 The army out! Out! The army out!
The army is your protection against unpatriotic and subversive elements who would...
Bread, education, freedom! Bread, education, freedom! Bread, education, freedom! Bread, education, freedom! Bread, education!
Students! You have made your demonstration. The government has taken note. Now I ask you to disperse. Disperse calmly, in order.
Because when fascism knocks on the door of Greece, it knocks on the door of Europe. It knocks on everyone's door.
Do you have political affiliations? Are you left, center, communist, Maoist?
We are of many opinions, but first we are Greeks who say no to the dictatorship.
This is the coordinating committee.
We are many workers here, outside thousands. You've seen them. Workers and students together. Everybody in Greece together.
Everybody? Hey, you write this down. Every house in Greece, Anglika, Postelena, and Castro.
Fortress.
Fortress. Every house in Greece becomes a fortress of resistance. You write that down. Everybody.
What about the government policy of putting militant students into the army? Aren't you worried about that?
It is one of the reasons for this demonstration.
What if the police try to remove you by force?
In the spring we fought, and with our blood we won a principle. A school is like a sanctuary. The only way the police can get us out is to carry us out, to use their clubs. The responsibility will be theirs.
You see that man? He works for the Hunter Television. His name is o-thrax. He's not only here as a reporter, he's also here to intimidate us. You journalists from England, from France, from America, you should know this. In our Constitution, which they've tried to destroy, there's an article, 114.
In Greek, ένα τέσσερα.
This article says that the responsibility of the Constitution and democracy is in the hands of the people. That's what this demonstration means. o-thrax, I tell it to you, and I tell it to your bosses. With all your cameras, and your prisons, and your tortures, and your secret police, we're not afraid. The people hate you. Get out.
Ένα τέσσερα!
Ένα τέσσερα! Ένα τέσσερα!
There's a guy here from Dutch television who wants some interviews.
Sure, why not? Come on in, Holland!
Speed? Speed! What do you hope from this demonstration?
6.5 years of dictatorship is enough. We don't want 7.
Do you think that kind of action will be successful?
We hope this will be the beginning of a bigger revolution against the junta. We hope.
Don't you think it's very dangerous for students?
Sure, it's dangerous, but we prefer freedom.
We are Greeks. We need to be free people.
This is against imperialism. We don't want the American battleships in Greece, and their sailors, and their soldiers. We don't need them.
We don't want Greek dictators who sell our country.
We don't want Papadopoulos and none of his gang. For this we will fight.
We and the workers. You saw how many workers are outside.
Everybody is with us. Everybody.
Thank you. Do you expect casualties?
Yes, yes.
By the police?
Yes, by the police.
Why do you occupy this university?
So they will listen, because you want some changes in the whole system, that's why.
But you are dancing, having a wonderful time. Don't you think there's any danger for you?
Yes, we know the dangers. We expect them.
Thank you. How many times you were in prison?
Actually, by the police about 10 times. I've been arrested also by military police for about 3.5 months.
You were tortured?
At the security police, I was beaten on the head with clubs. I was kicked on the genital system. I was treated very badly.
And at the military prison?
In the military headquarters, they tortured me continuously for 3.5 months, trying to make me say I was controlled by communist forces from other countries.
Now you risk being arrested even for the 11th time.
For the 11th time.
Down with the state! Arm the people! Dead to the police! Take your hands off me! Let me go! Take your hands off me!
Please, it's a family quarrel. Please,
I would like to...
Please, gentlemen.
Let me go! Let me go!
You're the first son of a bitch to break the discipline.
We agreed on all slogans to be used. I've got to move! I got a right to my own opinion. I'd like to see every policeman dead.
How long have you been in this school? What courses are you taking?
Why? What courses? Engineering. What class? Structural engineering.
Get somebody down here from structural engineering. Did you propose your slogans to the committee?
They wouldn't listen to me.
Who wouldn't listen to you? I'm on the slogan committee. I never saw you there. I never saw you in the school before today.
You or your fucking guitar?
What's your teacher's name?
What are you trying to do?
What's his name?
What do you want?
Here he is. Here's somebody from structural engineering. Is this guy in your class?
No.
You son of a bitch.
Don't touch him!
Don't touch him.
Jesus.
Don't touch him. Just throw him out. Throw him out.
Don't be misled by provocative provocateurs. If anybody urges you to violence, he is a police provocateur. This is a non-violent demonstration. There are 5,000 of us in this school, and not one single arm. There's a chemistry lab back there. If we wanted to, we could make all kinds of explosives. But everybody has the strictest orders to touch nothing in that lab. We will win by our number. We will win because you are with us today.
Megara driving Athens and tractors and bulldozers.
The farmers of Megara are driving to Athens in tractors and bulldozers. The farmers of Megara are with us.
The farmers of Megara are coming to join us. They are coming in tractors and bulldozers.
Listen, there are student demonstrations in Paris and in London. Their slogan, solidarity with the students of Greece.
A message from Scaramanga. We, the people of Scaramanga, are with you. Down with the junta. They have confiscated our land, 329 acres. They have confiscated our land, our school, our church, for Mr. Niachos to build hotels and restaurants for the tourists. And we are ordered in 10 days to give them our homes, our land, our blood. We swear that we are ready to die for our land. Long live the Greek students. We love you. Signed, the people of Scaramanga.
The students have occupied the University of Patras. The University of Salonika has gone on strike. It's spreading. Long live democracy! It's growing. In addition to the students demonstrating for us in Paris and in London, now students are demonstrating in Berlin and in Stockholm. The students of Europe are with us. Fascism cannot endure in Greece. Let the Greek voice be heard in Washington, the State Department, the Pentagon. Let them know that Greece will be free. Let the American people know we have no quarrel with them. Too many Americans have died for freedom. But they must know that the Greek people will do no less. It's growing! Listen to this message! To demonstrate our solidarity with you and acknowledging that at stake is the dignity of the Greek people, the actors and technicians of the Athens Theater announced that they are going on strike!
Do you like it?
I like it. Good night.
Beautiful to see those high school kids. Did you see the little girl who brought the flowers? Beautiful.
What do you think the police are thinking? I don't know, but they were too quiet today. Too quiet.
Γράψαμε το όνομα της. Ωραία μου φύσηξε ο μπάτης.
this one. Is it because I've lived in Greece and feel so close to the Greek people? Maybe. But Greece isn't different from Chile, or all the other places where we set up dictators and fatten them and arm them against their own people. And all the other Americans who are contributing their work and their skills because they too hate what their government is doing. That their government supports regimes that murder their own children. That we have a hand in the making of such regimes. How many Chiles do we need before we learn? How many Vietnams? Are we going to turn Greece into the Vietnam of Europe?
Okay, yours, Mr. Reed's upstairs.
Thanks.
Wherever I travel, Greece keeps wounding me. On Pelion, beneath the chestnuts, the centaur's shirt slid through the leaves to wind about my body. As I climbed up the slope and the sea came after me, rising like mercury in a thermometer, until we found the mountain waters. At Santorin, touching the sinking islands, hearing a pipe play somewhere on the pumice stone, my hand was nailed to the gunwale by an arrow suddenly shot from the extreme end of departed youth. At Mycenae, I lifted up the great boulders and the treasures of the sons of Atreus, and slept beside them in the Hotel Belle Hélène. They only left in the morning, when Cassandra crowed with a cock hanging down from her black throat. At Spetsae, Poros, and at Mykonos, I was nauseated by the barcaroles. What are they after, all those people who suppose themselves to be in Athens or Piraeus? One comes from Salamis and asks another, "You've come, I imagine, from Concord Square." "Oh, no," replied the other, pleased, "from the Constitution. I met old John there. He stood me on ice." Meanwhile, Greece travels onwards, and we know nothing. We do not know that all of us are sailors with no ships. We do not know the bitterness of harbors when every ship has gone. We mock at those who actually experience this. Strange, people who say they are in Attica and are nowhere. Meanwhile, Greece travels onwards, always travels. And if we see the Aegean flower with corpses, there are those who tried to swim after the big ship and catch it. Those who got tired of waiting for ships that would not sail. The Elsie, the Samothrace, the Ambrachiot. Ships whistle now as night falls on Piraeus. They whistle and whistle again. But no capstan moves. No wet chain has shone in the last ray of twilight. The captain stands in white and gold like a stone. Wherever I travel, Greece keeps wounding me. Curtains of mountains, archipelagos, naked granite. They call the ship which travels agony.
How many bedrooms do you have? Where did you sleep?
He was not in my house.
Where do you think he slept? They like young pricks. Don't they? Huh? Don't they? He fuck you real good, huh? You like pricks, huh? I'll show you a prick. Here, take a look at this one. They young enough, huh?
Did you take this picture? Did you take this picture? And this one? I'm going to tear the flesh right off of you. You understand me? Do you understand me? You're never going to forget me. Never.
Didn't the record it?
I had a tape recorder in a shopping bag. Just like this. Okay?
Okay,
go.
Έρχεται και τους παίρνουν και τους δυο με χιλιάδες βρυσές. Τι να σας πω ένα στόμα και κατεβαίνω στο πεζοδρόμιο και πήγω τις φωνές 1 η ώρα από τα μεσάνυχτα και μου βουλώνουν το στόμα γιατί σας λέω. Τώρα μου αφαιρείτε και το παιδί.
For my son, Mitsos Salras.
There are no prisoners here. There are no prisoners here.
I have the card to visit him.
No.
I want to see my son. Even the Germans. The families came to see the children when there were the Germans. I want to see my son.
All right, finished.
For 3 days I'm looking for my son. And the police station is the security to Viari, to all the prisons.
I'm mad.
All the prisons are full. I have the card to visit him.
Get out!
I will do a crime. You will make me do a crime.
Why was your son arrested?
Because he brings to eat for the children in the school, for no other reason. They took him out in the night, 2 o'clock in the night. And in a cruel way they came, saying dirty things. And I went out shouting into the streets. The man from the security, he closed my mouth like this. And he said to me, be quiet, or I'll take you too. And I said to him, what am I going to do alone in my house? You want to kill me? You want to kill me with stones? My husband you have taken, my son you have taken. What is left in my house? 4 walls?
Why did they take your husband?
Why? For nothing. From 1947, he does nothing. I told this to the policeman, that other one who comes to my house for 26 years. For 26 years they watch my house. And I said to him, you know, he does nothing. And he said to me, the policeman, he says to me, yes, I cannot say the opposite. He has done nothing. He does not even go to the cafe for a coffee. But you are communists, and that is the worst thing. A stamp for 26 years. When there was this party, I said to the policeman, and this party was not against the law, it was in the law. But always you had men going all around the office and men making pictures with cameras. Did you say once, my husband, go in or go out? This is to break our nerves, to make us all the time afraid, all the time. And I take him like this by the, here. Why do you take my husband? And he says to me, the policeman, he says, you are a good family, but you can never forget this. You are communists. The stamp. From 1942, we have this stamp. My husband, my son, my grandson, my great-grandsons that I will never see, they will always have this stamp. What else can I tell you? Nothing.
Okay, that's the day of the tanks.
There's something so terrifying about tanks in city streets. Did you ever see a traffic cop with tanks? Oh, they cleared those streets. Tanks made in the USA.
That's the Mercedes. The one that was smashed by the tanks in front of the Polytechnic.
My name is Lillian Hellman. This letter was never finished, never mailed. Dear Michelle, I won't write the return address on the envelope, so I'll put it here. I am writing from the only free territory in Greece. I'm sharing it with 5,000 crazy, quarrelsome, beautiful people, and I love every damn one of them. I have never been so happy in my life. I can see you shaking your head. I can hear you say, oh, those Greek exaggerations. But I tell you, this Wednesday, this Thursday, and this November will always be remembered in Greece. Yesterday, the people kept coming all through the night until dawn from Alexandra Street and Petition Street and up to the school. My voice is completely gone. I've been shouting slogans and singing for 2 days, but I can still dance. It's exactly 8 o'clock Friday morning. I won't finish the letter now. I'll keep adding to it during the day. 10:15. There's a lot of talk here about the police. Till now, they have done nothing, absolutely nothing. Their attitude is, let those crazy kids run out of steam. They'll soon tire out and go home. They are wrong. 11 o'clock. I won't describe the atmosphere. It's fantastic. A big delegation of construction workers has just entered the school. They're carrying banners. They're shouting, the people are united, fascism will fall. Much emotion and so much happiness. Some of the kids are crying. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening now. I've had no time to make notes. I've been busy all day preparing leaflets, committee meetings and discussions. I've also been very busy dancing. Big shots have been coming to visit, politicians, painters, writers, actors, and just now Giannis came to sing for us.
With all those people outside? Forget it!
I'm Charles Sweetert. I'm a news reporter for KRO Television. That's a big news organization in the Netherlands. It was exactly 10 minutes to 8 in the night that the police made the first attack on the school.
With my own eyes, I saw the ambulance coming. The people were fighting to breathe. They made room for the ambulance to pass. It stopped in front of the Polytechnic school. When the doors opened, I saw it was full of policemen. They were wearing gas masks. They jumped out of the ambulance and fired tear gas bombs everywhere.
Rifle shots came from sharpshooters on rooftops.
We desperately need blood plasma and ambulances. Please send cars with diplomatic corps license plates. We have...
Ring the church bells! They're killing our children! Ring the bells! Ring the bells! Ring the bells!
At 2:25 in the morning, the first tank pointed its cannon at the gate of the school.
People of Athens! At this moment there are tanks in front of our schools! Those who hear me, wake your neighbors! You must not sleep! We are going to know what is happening!
They're murdering our children! Ring the bells!
They're turning the gas on the school! Turning the gas on the school!
Greeks! You must not sleep when there are guns aimed at your children!
Soldiers! Brothers! You will not shed your brother's blood! We are not armed!
Εγνωρίζω από την κόψη του σπαθιού την τρομερή.
Soldiers! We greet you as brothers! Soldiers! Listen! We greet you with our national anthem!
Πόνε λίγο τα γερά και σαν πρώτα αγριωμένοι χαίρονται ελευθεριά. Και σαν πρώτα αγριωμένοι χαίρονται ελευθεριά. Και σαν πρώτα αγριωμένοι χαίρονται ελευθεριά. Σε γνωρίζω από την κόψη του σπαθιού την τρομερή. Σε γνωρίζω από την κόψη του μεριά.
Soldiers! Our fight is to be free! Your place is with us! Soldiers, we are not armed! We have only our bodies! Only our bodies! We are not armed!
Αγριωμένοι χαίρονται ελευθεριά. Και σαν πρώτα 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 αγριωμένοι χαίρονται ελευθεριά.
You will evacuate the school at once. Our orders are to evacuate all the buildings now.
We'll leave. On condition. No shooting. No arrests.
There will be no conditions. Evacuate.
presence of foreign ambassadors and the Red Cross.
As soon as the tank came in, the Rangers came with the machine guns on their hips and were just shooting everyone what was moving. So also in that case, escaping was impossible. In the streets of Athens, on every corner in the surrounding of the Polytechnic was a machine gun post. So they cleared the streets just by shooting across, so it was quite impossible to run away because people were killed on that way. With these hands, I've taken a few of kids, 10, crossing on my belly just to the hotel and to the houses there. Perhaps we could do for them something. They were terribly wounded. And one of that kids I have in my hands, just a few hours before that, they gave me this bracelet. And just as a present because they like me and just we were there because it was a girl. So, and well, after that she was there on the ground. If anybody in this world say that there are less than 180 people, kids killed, then I, as a journalist, and my whole reputation is in that, I say you are a very big bloody liar. Because I have seen them on the ground. The tank came over, and if a tank came over your body, it separates your head from your body. And I've seen at least 20 of dead people killed in that way.
Just a few short days after the killings, the country in the grip of martial law, self-appointed President Papadopoulos received a visit from American Admiral Colbert. The Admiral was interviewed by a television reporter. We're not permitted to use the reporter's voice or image. I'll cover his face and tell you the questions he asked. His first question: how was your meeting with the President this morning?
Well, my meeting was very pleasant. All my meetings with the President have been. Delighted to be back in Greece. Greece is one of the countries that I'm responsible for defending, and I'm proud of the efforts that Greece is making in their defense efforts.
Then he asked, how was the President's mood today when you met with him? How was his mood?
Quite happy.
Does he feel confident that they've managed to stop the recent troubles here?
I didn't get into that. I'm a military man. I don't get into political matters.
He feels no concern about the American attitude towards what has happened here?
That subject never came up. And I can't see it coming up.
So things are the same as they were a week ago, or 2 weeks ago?
As I see it.
Then he said something about the Admiral's retirement and wished him luck.
My name is Maximilian Schell. This is part of a letter written to a young Greek who works in Germany. So Dimitri is dead. Dimitri, I know it, I write it, and it makes no sense to me. I still expect that at any moment he will break into the room with that big laugh of his and to make me feel ridiculous because I believed anything could kill him. Stratis you know about. Katie told me that she wrote to you. And yesterday, only yesterday, because no one knew where he was, we found out that Yanis had a leg amputated too. Those bullets they used, they cut your legs in two. Again, I have to write to you about money. I'm embarrassed about it, but what can we do? We need money for many families. We need money for those who are still hiding. I'm sure you have read about the new wave of arrests. And dear friend, we need money for artificial legs. They are expensive. There is one thing you must know, and tell this to Makis. His last letter was so despondent. We are not despondent. We are going to win. There is so much anger here, so much hatred, and so much determination. We are going to win. We paid so much, so many dead, so many wounded, but we also gained much. The people are together like never before. You won't find anyone, even the very rich, that have a good word to say for this regime. And most important, nobody is afraid anymore. We are past that. You hear people in the streets, in the trolley bus, everywhere. They speak openly and loud. All the arrests don't stop them. I used to be embarrassed when people said, Eleftheria I thanatos, freedom or death. It always sounded so bravura. Now I'm not embarrassed anymore. That's the way it is here. That's the condition. Eleftheria I thanatos. Get us help. Keep talking to people. Don't get tired. People everywhere must know when there are open wounds, hurt also are the eyes that see them. Love from Eleni, Stavros.
Our poet spoke of the days when the bad news swept the city and the young met in secret. And with what was still their own, a handful of earth, and under their open shirts, tiny silver crosses bright in the sun, they took to the streets, and spring was sovereign. And it was on the customary day that the nation celebrated the other uprising. That was the day designed for the great exodus. They went out early in the morning, facing the sun, their fearlessness unfurled like a flag. The young, that they called bumps. The young, that they called scum.
The young, that they called bumps. The young, that they called scum.
Many followed them, men and women. Some wore bandages, some were on crutches.
Some wore bandages, some were on crutches.
And in a few short hours, life dug deep into their faces.
And the others heard of these things, and they came with what was theirs. The spitting fire beneath the steel, the black cannons and the iron teeth.
The black cannons and the iron teeth in the burning sun.
There where no flower ever shed a tear, but this was the springtime path, and they looked beyond despair toward the great serenity that was to be theirs. The young, that they called bums. The young, that they called scum. And in a few short hours, life dug deep into their faces. And the beasts made havoc. The following day, the young were nailed to the wall.
Ένα το χελιδόνι κι άνοιξε ακριβή για να γυρίσει ο ήλιος. Θέλει δουλειά πολύ. Ένα το χελιδόνι κι άνοιξε ακριβή για να γυρίσει ο ήλιος. Θέλει δουλειά πολύ. Θέλει νεκροί χιλιάδες να είναι στους τροχούς. Θέλει τη ζωντανή να δίνουν το αίμα τους. Θέλει τη ζωντανή να δίνουν το αίμα τους. Δεν μου πρωτομάσορα με δείξες μέσα στα βουνά. Δεν μου πρωτομάσορα με δείξες μες στη θάλασσα. Δεν μου πρωτομάσορα κλείσες μέσα στα βουνά, Θεέ μου πρώτο μας τώρα, με κλείσες μες στη θάλασσα. Πάρτε και να τους μάγους το σώμα του μαγιού, το έχουνε τάξει σε ένα μνήμα του πέλαγου. Πάρτε και να τους μάγους το σώμα του μαγιού, το έχουνε τάξει σε ένα μνήμα του πέλαγου. Σε ένα βαθύ πηγάδι το έχουνε κλειστό, μύρισε το σκοτάδι κι όλοι άδεισο. Μύρισε το σκοτάδι κι όλοι άδεισο. Θεέ μου πρώτο μας ώρα, μέσα στις πασχαλιές κι εσύ.
The coordinating committee issues the following proclamation. The problems that face our people can be resolved only by the overthrow of this tyrannic regime and our determination to install the sovereignty of the people.